What's going on, guys? Thanks again for being here, and today I'm reviewing a brand new release from Genaray, the SSL series. This one here is the SSL-MINI-B soft strip bicolor LED light. It measures about 4 by 17 inches. I'm going to be telling you guys everything about this light, so don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. So as you can see, there are more lights here in the background. They are also part of the SSL family, which I have reviewed the very first one, the SSL-50, which is daylight only, about 2 years ago. So I have been using this light for a long time. Right here I have the SSL-836B. On the background there I have the SSL-50B, and I also have the SSL-50 daylight only somewhere in there. And I actually was using either one of these lights as a hair light, so I was actually very glad that they released the miniature version of this light here, so I don't have to actually use a huge light like this here as a hair light. So this one here actually completes the whole collection, if you will, here. So every time I'm going to use this light, because I have the entire line of SSL series here, I'm always going to be using this as a hair light or something that, I can actually put on the background there, or to actually light up a subject from behind to glow around. But you can actually use this as a key light when you have a small interview set. You can actually put the light vertically, horizontally, or in an angle on a side like this here. This also features a lollipop mount in which you can actually drop the light all the way up or all the way down. So there's a lot of versatility here with this light. And a quick disclaimer, Genaray sent me this light for me to test it out. I don't get paid to say anything here, and this video is not sponsored by Genaray, and all my words and opinions are my own. Most of you guys are also YouTube creators. You guys know there's a lot of work to make these videos here. So if you want to use my affiliated B&H links here, I would really appreciate it. It helps the channel, and I earn a tiny little commission here, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. So if you want to use my links, I would really appreciate it. Thanks. Whether you're shooting a live event, a concert, or corporate interview, a scene of a movie, whatever that is, it's always a good idea to have a consistency thing going on in mind. So when you're actually using, for example, 3 Sony FS6s, for example, and set up the same thing with the same picture profile, when you actually edit, it's going to be a breeze. The same thing applies to lighting. With that said, when you actually use a bunch of lights together here, especially if you have the ability to have the same maker and model of the same exact thing here, chances are your edit and your look is going to be a lot easier because there's nothing to color match here. So the way this light is positioned right now, I'm actually trying to use this light at the same time as a fill and also as a hair light here. And this one here is acting as a key light, and the other one is just doing something on the background right there. This light measures exactly 16.9 inches by 4.62 by 2.74 with the barn doors closed. It also has a color temperature range from 3000 degrees Kelvin all the way to 5600 degrees Kelvin, and it has 192 LEDs, which, by the way, it acts like a softbox here. You cannot see the LEDs, and there's no hot spots in this light here, at least not noticeable. And it also has a CRI of 96 and a TLCI of 98, and it also provides a multi-voltage with optional battery. So if you want to power this light with a Sony battery, all you have to do is to get your own Sony battery and put it in the back, but it comes already assembled with the whole power box on the back here, ready for that. Or you can also just plug it in on the outlet, and it doesn't matter what country you live in, it's going to switch from 110 volts to 240, the actual power adapter there. So this light is actually ready for everything. This light brightness wise can go from 0, which is off, to 1% and 1% increments all the way to 100%. And whether it is using the actual Sony MPF option here or the included power supply, it's going to give you 100% both ways. It doesn't mean that when you're actually using the Sony battery, it's going to actually cut down the brightness because you're using a battery. Because there are some other lights, either they're going to display like 80% maximum, or some other lights that display 100%, but you're not actually getting the 100% when you're using batteries. So this particular one here, or this light, or the SSL-50 in the background, whatever option you choose, when you are at 100%, you are actually getting the 100% the same way as if you were plugged it in on the outlet. One of the main things that I like about this light here is actually the shape of the light, and also the ability to control very well the light spill with the built-in bar doors, and also provides an even illumination here. This light's always run cool to the touch. When you actually use this for extended periods of time, it's not going to get hot to the touch. It's always comfortable to actually touch the light here, so it's not going to burn you or anything like that. And it also has a bicolor feature, and is also fanless, which means there's no noise with your silent, quiet places when you want to do interview. You can even control this light within themselves. For example, if you actually set everything, for example, to group B and channel 4, for example, when you actually touch that balance right there, or this one or that one, they're all going to be synchronized together. So if you change the color temperature from this balance and then you come over here and change the brightness level from this one here, they're always going to be in synchronism, which is pretty cool. I'm actually a big fan of remote controls because if this thing falls on the ground, it's not going to damage anything. It's a very inexpensive purchase, and also I can actually see the display on this remote and most of the other remote controls that I have with my gazillion other lights that I have there. When I'm actually on a corporate set or shooting something for somebody, whatever it is that I'm doing, the last thing that I actually remind myself, oh, the light has an app. So I always on the back of the light tuning or my other assistants, they actually tune the lights for me. They can actually tilt the light. An app cannot tilt the lights for you. Hey, I want this light about 45 degrees that way. Try that with an app, right? And another disadvantage that I see with the app stuff, because for example, this is an $1,800 1 terabyte iPhone Pro Max phone. The last thing that I want to happen to my phone here is to accidentally fall on the ground because I was in a rush trying to set up stuff here, or maybe my hands a little bit sweaty or whatever. So I'm not a big fan of apps. 98% of all my lights here, they have app, but if this is your thing, this is not the lights for you because these lights, they do not operate via the app, just so you know. I think the remote control, this one here, to be honest with you, this remote is a little bit finicky to control, but still, it does the job, and I'd much rather have remote control than actually mess with apps. That's just me. So this is what this light is actually doing right now. Here is illuminating this part of my face here as a fill and a little bit of my hair here. So we can actually put the light in any angle or all the way in the back just to act as a hair light to separate the subject from the background. Now if you like a little drama here, for example, look what happens with the Genaray SSL-MINI-B. So you can actually have a little bit of light like this here. Some drama, right? All I'm doing is rotating the light because the light is actually on an angle here, so I can actually do cool stuff like that here, or the full brightness here. There you go. You can also modify the shape of the light this way here, or this way. And of course, when you actually close the barn door, it's very tiny with a, of course you have to gain on the brightness there to compensate for the loss of light that you're actually blocking the light, but you get my point. So with this lights here, you can actually do all kinds of lighting, including of course bouncing on a white wall, on a white surface to actually come back to you as a huge source of light. This particular light here, if this is all you have regarding this particular SSL series here, you can use the light the way it is, or to make a bigger light source, put this light vertical or horizontal on a translucent collapsible background to make the light bigger. So there are many ways to utilize these lights here, and I actually love this barn doors here because of the amount of control that you can actually have, and the lollipop mount there allows you to tilt the light in any angle, and again, horizontal, vertical, drop it this way here, all the way up or all the way down. This light only weighs 1.5 kilograms or 3.2 pounds, so it's a very light little thing here. So I'm actually using this boom with a sandbag on the other side of the boom. All I'm using is this little 5-pound little disc, which I actually find a lot better than sandbags because it keeps the setup clean, no mess. So to counterbalance this thing, it takes only this little 5-pound here, at least from this setup here. When you extend the boom, of course, you're going to be needing more discs, but the way it is right now, only 5 pounds here. So what I'm trying to say here, you don't need anything complicated to actually rise this in the boom, because we all know when you are on set, you have to be very careful with liability. You don't want this thing to fall on somebody's head, right? So make sure you always balance this boom properly to find the proper center of gravity. So before you lock down the boom, make sure the boom actually stays on the correct center of gravity, and then you actually lock it down. So the correct way to set up a boom, it needs to feel like a crane. You can actually operate it with a pinky, go up and down. When you find that particular spot, that's when you actually lock the boom. Don't be putting sandbags on the C-stand here with the boom unbalanced, because this is equally as dangerous as no sandbags at all. And this is actually a massive boom here. If you are interested in this boom, I'll make sure I leave everything down in the description here. All these lights plus the boom here. This is one thing that I like about the Genaray lights, because most lights that I review here, I would say 95% of them, they come with the case. The only one that I remember they don't come with the case is the Genaray Powerhouse. No idea why they wouldn't make a case when all the other lights, they make a case. Now when I review something here that doesn't come with a case, it really puts me in a bad mood, because I know I'm going to be having to find a case somewhere, which also costs me money and a lot of my time, because to find a case for a very unusual shape of light like this, good luck finding a case like that, but not this guy's here. So I actually love when a light comes with the case because I'm pretty picky with my equipment and I wanted to transport this light safely without any damage whatsoever. That light right there is a 50-inch light. It comes with the case. You're looking at it right here. Same thing with the 36-inch, comes with the same exact case right here. So this light is only 3 pounds, and to keep everything light, they also come with the case, which is this type of case here, which is offers some paddings on the top here as well. And as you can see, it has a compartment here to fit everything separate so nothing touches each other. So all you need pretty much is a very light case with a very light light to keep everything compact. I actually wish they made a case like this instead of this light, but I actually like the fact that this one is a lot lighter because this case can be a little weighty. So when you get this light here, there's no assembly to do. It comes with the barn doors built in, as you can see here. It also comes with the case and also comes with the power supply, which switches from 110 volts to 220, whatever country they want, it's gonna work. And also a very generous power cord here, which should reach most outlets. I would say this is actually probably 10-12 feet long. You can get this remote control as a separate order, but no app control whatsoever. Now the next thing that I know you guys probably will ask, how long can I actually run this battery using the 2 Sony NPF 975 batteries attached to the back of the light? Usually this battery is here, at least the one that I'm holding with my hand, is a brand new battery, and I know the cells are high quality. And this features usually 58.5 watt hour. This is what you have to pay attention to, the watt hours. So you're going to be dividing the watt hours with the 2 batteries combined divided by the 36 watt power consumption that this light operates on. So let's do a little math here. 58.5 times 2 equals 117 watts. So since this light only operates with the 2 Sony batteries, so it's going to be about 117 watt hour on the 2 batteries combined. Now, since I already know how many watt hours my 2 Sony batteries combined has, all you have to do is to divide 117 divided by the 36 watts of this light. So you should be able to operate this light for as long as 3.2 hours at 100%. Now, if for some reason your Sony battery on the back of the label here did not come provided with a watt hour, this is actually very easy to find out. So the battery that I'm holding here is a 7.4 volts, just like any other Sony battery, but what varies from battery to battery is the capacity of the battery. For example, this particular one here is 7900 milliamps, in which we have to divide by 1000 if you want to calculate this thing here. So let's do 7.9 amps, right? Which brings the total to 58.5 watt hours here. So let's put the information here on this calculator here. So 7.4 volts, and then with the 7.9 amps, calculate 58.46, 58.5. This is exactly what's shown on the back of the battery here. This light is made almost entirely of aluminum, and that's including the barn doors, which is also made of aluminum. The only thing plastic here you're gonna find, obviously, is the actual LED diffuser and also the battery plate that houses the NPF 970 batteries. And the hinges here is also made of plastic, but it is a very rigid plastic. In this event, the barn doors shall become a little loose. All you have to do is to use a regular Phillips screwdriver here, tighten this regular Phillips screws here, and the barn door is back to brand new condition. So far, none of these lights, they have come loose, but sometimes I have one of here that came with the barn door slightly loose. All I have to do is to tighten a little bit. It goes back to the same rigidity they find here. Another thing that is a plus about this particular light here is the actual battery plate. Once you actually insert the Sony batteries, also it locks very tight in place. It's not going anywhere. It features a lock thing here. So to release the batteries, don't forget to press that button so you don't break anything, because once these batteries are here, they're not going anywhere. And if you mount this light on a regular stand instead of on a boom, it's going to give you the whole ability to go full 180 degrees this way or this way here, either vertical or horizontal. To lock it down, just use this ratchet knob here, which you can also snap out to get it out of the way in any position that you like. The display on the back of the light here is not a large display, but the numbers, they're actually big, which allows you to see your settings, the color temperature and everything else from a decent distance. And also you can actually see from any angle, from this way to the top or anywhere. So anywhere you will look at this light here, you're going to be able to read the display. On the right side of the light here, this is where you actually plug in your included power supply. And on top, there's the power switch, which you can actually turn on and turn it off this way here. It is an actual physical switch, nothing that you actually press and hold to power it on. You simply slide the button here, turns it off, and back to on position here. In this light here, there's no ballast to be hanging anywhere. It comes built in with the plate here. Like I said, everything is assembled. You don't have to mount or dismount anything. You take this thing out of the box, the barn doors is already built here. All you have to do is to slide your batteries and also mount the light on the lollipop, and that is it. One thing that I absolutely love about this light here, because believe it or not, a lot of lights that features the DC power supply and the Sony NP-F batteries, what happens is dangerous current can be actually flowing here at the same time when you actually have a battery installed here while the DC adapter is actually connected, which is not a good thing because that current or voltage has nothing to do with actually charging the battery. So I actually ran a test using my multimeter on the actual connectors here just to make sure no current is flowing while I have my power adapter plugged in here at the same time having the batteries here. So this is what I want you to see here. So watch this display flicker once here, which means as soon as you plug in the thing here, watch, and then this happens, which means the current or power supply is immediately cut from the batteries here. Whoever designed this, kudos to them because they thought of everything. No, you're not going to be charging your batteries here, but no current is flowing here, so nothing is gonna happen to your battery. As soon as you unplug, guess what happens? It activates the battery circuitry now. So what this is doing here is protecting your battery. So again, you plug this in here, you watch that thing flash once, which means this is actually DC power supply only, nothing to do with the battery supply. So that's the end of the review here, and I hope you like the content that you've seen. And if you want to subscribe to this channel, I would appreciate it. And if you want to comment anything, I respond to everything that I see there. So once again, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.